And Raider Nation, here we are from the Excellent Studios here in Las Vegas, Nevada. Your boy, Silo's here to talk about Raider football, baby, and to talk about the moves that we keep making this off season. Since the last video we put together, it appears that we got in addition a couple players, most noticeable wide receiver from the Los Angeles Chargers, arch rivals, which is good, right? Anytime you can make your rival weaker, we'll take that. So that's an adventure in itself. And we also got a veteran defensive lineman from the Miami Dolphins to start trying to address some of our big, huge need in the center for defense. For a little bit of talk about. I'm just scratching my head because we keep adding wide receivers. I wonder what the plan is. Since I thought we have quite a few, and we keep on adding more and more wide receivers. I know we're trying to have depth, but I thought the idea was that we. Some say we upgraded. I said we downgraded to Jimmy G to create some cap to address all the different holes that we had in defense. But there's a lot of speculation on the different channels. Through Twitter, the main media channels, ESPN, NBC, and ABC Sports, talking about, hey, we got some really good chances to trade up and get a franchise quarterback. Or other teams keep saying that, media teams keep saying that we need to address our up front four, which I do agree. And there seems to be some really good defensive tackles. And there's also an additional analysis saying, oh no, we're going to draft, we're going to kind of draft down to pick the best quarterbacks in the draft. So many needs that need to be done, and I think all of them have their own point and they have their own analysis, and it all makes sense. Personally, I don't believe we need to go draft a quarterback. I know everybody goes for that, and I know the quarterback has, a true one of a kind, a superstar. An elite quarterback will elevate the team. Some people may not agree with me, but I believe quarterbacks like are hated. I tried with the New England Patriots, Tom Brady. He did that. You can see now how New England is not the same since he left, and also when he was in his prime, because he was declining towards the end of his career with the New England Patriots, and they smartly did not keep him, and then he ended up going to Tampa Bay, where he did take a Super Bowl to them, but he had a much more talented team. Truly believe all around faces, the defense, the offense, special teams. So it was a truly team win in that place. And then the last few seasons, well, you guys saw what was happening. And also Peyton Manning, somebody else who carried the Indianapolis Colts. He was basically the offensive coordinator, and he was elevating that team. And even though they didn't win a lot of Super Bowls, some people will say, oh, well, he only won a Super Bowl and he was consistently kicked out. Well, what happened when he left? That team has struggled, continues to struggle to be a winning franchise ever since he left. They haven't really had much appearances in the playoffs. Last season, they fired their head coach at the time in the middle of the season because it was going nowhere. And unfortunately, we got the win to their interim head coach. As I remember, your Raider Nation, to Jeff Saturday. And it's hard to forget. That was a little bit painful. But I'm going to get over that. Now we're in 2023. And yes, so my point is, if you're going to draft somebody up there, it needs to be somebody like that. Otherwise, my opinion is a serviceable quarterback, somebody that could keep converting on third downs and keep our defense rested. So when they needed to be called on, they're not gassed like we saw last season and several seasons, right? When our quarterback and our offense honestly will stall and get to 3 and outs, our 4 guys were out of gas. And look, did we have a defense last year? I say we really didn't. We had some spots. I call it fool's gold, right? We had some really good bright spots where we're like, oh my God, where had they been? But they disappear. Well, I think a lot of that have to do also with uh, the guys being out there defense so much, so often that they're human. They're gonna get tired. Even Max Crosby, who I know most Raider Nation loves the guy. I know I do. The guy's amazing. But it's hard when you're out there most of the time, right? So some might say, hey, best defense is to keep your offense out there. And yes, I agree with that. Take the ball away from the opposing team. But you can have consistent drives and with the good offensive line and be able to convert a third down. So yes, here we are. I'm not sure what the direction is. I did read an article, and everybody has their own analysis, and then there's former football players making this analysis. And I saw one from Raider Wire, and I think this was a article from SSI that so far out of the 32 teams, we ranked 30th on snap pre-snap based on what we have on paper, right? So it's not exactly good news to me or something to get excited about. There's still a lot to be done, though. Raider Nation, look, we still have the draft, and it remains to see. Are we going to go quarterback? Are we going to go up front four in our defense? Or are we going for it all and trading our chips and trading up and trying to get the best quarterback that we can get? We truly believe that's going to be our franchise quarterback and have him, sit at the bench and learn from Jimmy G. And we already talked about Jimmy G a little bit. My only concern with Jimmy G is I'm not knocking on him. I think he was on a much better team, and so even though he has a winning record, that has to do a lot with an overall team effort. It's not just on him, as it should be. Football, it's a team effort, right? The ultimate team effort. So ultimately, the quarterback gets all the credit or all the blame. But if you look down into it, there's so many things that go when you win a game or when you lose a game. So many things that go right, so many things that go wrong. So, behind him, we will get our franchise quarterback and groom him and get him to slowly get into the starting position and take over from there, and hopefully we take off. That's an ideal scenario. The trend that I have noticed is that in the NFL, they get you out of college, and if you're high draft up there, you're going as a starter right away because we need you that bad, right? If you get the first round pick, it's because your team has not been the best last season. And therefore, you get the first picks, first round picks. But Raider Nation, I always hear this, and I know we heard it a lot, right? Patience, believe in the system, believe in the plan that we have. We're building, we're not rebuilding, this and that. At the end of the day, Raider Nation, it's gonna take time. Um, we have had a lot of failures, several head coaches, several general managers. That hey, I almost lose count. The one thing that I do say, we did have a very decent quarterback. I'm not going to say an elite quarterback. Not offending anybody. That's my opinion. But um, that was about the only thing that was stable for the last few years. It's been a slew of changes in the front office and coaching and offensive coordinators. So it's gonna take time to get back to greatness, my Raider Nation. And to all of us that fell in love with this team when they used to bully other teams and they used to take the quarterback down and we used to take what we wanted. And we were, at a point in time, people forget the Raiders. We were a dynasty, a team to look up for. Uh, and we were, well, I can still believe we are, the Raiders against the NFL. How soon is that going to take? Time will tell. Are we making the right decisions? Time will tell. The only thing I could ask for as a fan, make some progress. True fans don't abandon their team, but it would be nice for once to have some consistency. And if not there, start making moves to get there and have something to show for it, not just talk. Because I don't speak just for me. I want to speak for most of my Raider fans. We're getting pretty tired of not seeing the results. With that, I leave you Raider Nation. As always, you can get me on YouTube at XZone8033 or at Twitter at XZoneSparts and right here on Facebook, baby. Hey, your comments, suggestions, always are welcome. Hey, thank you for taking the time to listen to my humble opinion, not analysis, my humble opinion. And as always, hey, chime in, baby. I want to hear your thoughts. I want to hear if you want to vent, if you think I'm crazy, if you think I'm dumb. Hey, feel free, baby. I love you all. I always will, and I will always bleed silver and black, no matter what. Even if we don't win a game next season. I hope that's not a prediction. Until next time, baby. Stay up, baby. Stay up.